Hello, everybody, and welcome in. Those were some highlights right there, wasn't it, ladies and gentlemen? I do apologize. Yes, no Facebook tonight. For some reason, it won't let me stream to Facebook tonight, so we're on the red site here solely tonight. But you know what? The red site can handle this crazy hot action, so let's get to it, shall we? We're going to skip a couple steps here because the highlight video, well, went for a very long time there. Qualifying in our race this evening for round 6, ladies and gentlemen, is same as our racing conditions. In this case, it's going to be no tire, no fuel consumption, and racing soft tires this week. It's a BOP on no tuning series Group 3 cars with the exception of all Toyotas and VGTs. We have boost off, grid start with false start check, and slipstream strength is real. Our mechanical damage heavy model is on heavy. The drivers will start with 100 liters of fuel, so a full tank of fuel. They have no driving aids with the exception of traction control and an anti-lock braking system. Drivers must use the mandatory tire for a minimum of one full circuit lap. A circuit lap does not include an out lap or an in lap. Penalty settings are as follows. Ghosting is turned off. Shortcut penalties are on weak. Car collision and wall collision penalties are turned off. That's handled by stewarding officials post racing. After our 3 divisions are done at the end of the week, our stewarding staff gets together and looks at any incident reports, if any, that come in, that is, and of course do their assessments from there. We have no correction after wall collision, and we have no replacement on track if you go off track either. Our flagging rules are turned on, and our pit lane penalties are also turned on. So 2 races on the docket here for everybody tonight. It's going to be a 15-minute sprint race to start the night off with. It'll be a 15-minute qualifying run to lead in to that 15-minute sprint. It will be no tires, no fuel consumption, and it's going to be a racing soft tire. Weather is S03 dry, cloudy, and pleasant, and it's a ×8 variable at sunset time here at Grand Valley 1. Then that leads us into race number 2. Race control will send the crew out. They'll clean up the racetrack. They'll check everything out, make sure everything's up to par for race number 2. And we're going to lead into a 30-minute sprint race from there. The drivers will have to do a tire change. It'll be a racing soft and racing medium mandate here in race number 2. It's going to be ×4 tire and ×4 fuel. That means that every time around the racetrack, the drivers will use 4 laps worth of fuel and 4 laps worth of tires. Weather is S05, misty, cloudy, and sunny, and it is at twilight hours. And again, that weather variable is at 8 times. We're ripping through some information here real quick again, ladies and gentlemen, because we had the issue trying to get live tonight. So let's get up to the standings here, because qualifying is about ready to start here. We have 11 of our 14 drivers on the racetrack here this week. All right, welcome in everybody on YouTube. YouTube is gonna pop off tonight, so that's all right. That's all right. We want to build YouTube up anyway, so not sure what's going on with Facebook, but we'll dig deeper after the stream. So our standings on the screen in front of us here. It is CB Matt in the lead with 210 points. ATB with 203 points, chasing in second place. It's Fast Ginger in third, tied for third place with ATK's Death with 184 points. Tron Kobe sitting there in fifth place with 174. Sticky Bandit with 164 points in sixth position. Miguel in seventh with 156. Agent Orange with 143 in eighth place. Egon in ninth place with 132 points. CB Merch and Nolander tied for 10th position with 122 points. Shredda in 12th place with 102 points. Lucky Alpha in 13th with 100 points. And Pete Snow, who's missed the majority of the season due to some twins most recently in his family. So at 32 points, stepped into a reserve role as opposed to a full-time driver role here today. All right, the word has come down from race control. Oh, there we go. Let's get the right button. And all drivers are ready. So let's go qualifying, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? All right, welcome in, everybody. We're just going to check to make sure we got our video, our game audio sound working for you here, and we'll have that in just a moment's time. All right, so we definitely don't have any game sound here. Let's fix that, shall we? There we go. All right, let's go see who the first driver out on the racetrack is going to be here. Just wait for the live timing on it, like doggone it tonight. Alright, so I think we're on ATB's car at the moment here. As soon as I get the screen off in front of everybody's view, we can see it is ATB's car. We're trying to get to this gentleman right here, our championship points leader, coming into week number 6 here, CP Matt Murd from VPR Racing. And, well, looking real good in the last couple of weeks, this driver. I mean, what else can we say? He is definitely one of the drivers to look out for here, and that's just all there is to it. Let's go ATB. Oh, hey, Superman. No Facebook tonight. No, that's right. What else we got going on here? Delta Cape. Too many celebrities up in here? I know, right? It is. It's a pumping party up in YouTube here tonight. The boys always come through. Facts. All right, so it's gonna be CB Matt, and then we'll take a run on board with CB Matt. We'll do a little virtual lap guide around Grand Valley Highway number 1 here with some juicy corner names for everybody. So, of course, this is based off the research of Miss Devious, our Special Operations Administrator, and our race control official here this evening as well, and behind the scenes here in the Pro-Am division. So much love and props to her, because, guys, she knocks these things out of the park, doesn't she, chat? All right, so we're just coming up over into the Renee Cove tunnel here right now. So it's the final tunnel on the racetrack here, getting near the end of the lap, and then that takes us into Doge Point. So let's get on board with CB Matt here, and he is going to start us off here in qualifying in week 6 for our Pro-Am class. At about the 300 board, you're on the anchors here, and as you head into El Camino, you're going to want to ride the inside apex right till about the transition of the pavement and start to throttle out. From here, you want to stay tight to the left side. You want to take as much of this track as you can. You got to keep 2 tires on the track surface at all times, even to the point of taking a little dirt on the tires in that second part of Oceanside. From here, you're again on the anchors at about 350 meters here, coming downhill into Malibu Point. Very, very tough braking zone here, coming out of the high-speed sector. From there, that takes us into, what is this corner again? Riptide. From there, that takes us into this bus stop style chicane here that we call Vista, and you can see a big slide coming from that, coming out of that corner here. You want to just hug it, move over, hug it again, and just wait. You gotta be patient here. Now on the throttle, late coming out. From there, that takes us in through Rock Slide, which we just came out of, and into Ocean Rock Shelter. We come out of Ocean Rock Shelter into San Joaquin Curve, and, well, gotta be patient here too. Very long corner, takes forever. That takes us in through Windsock and leads us into the Grand Valley Bridge. From there, we're almost through a lap here. We got one more difficult sector left here, Grand Valley Highway 1, and this is an uphill undulating sector. Dead Man's Curve is next. You want to just get a late apex here and get back on the throttle, but stay as far right as you can. Got to try and catch this apex, but not too much so you avoid the penalty. And as we come out of Zodiac, Condor and Zodiac, that takes us to the Renee Cove Tunnel. Bridge and tunnel, pardon me. And then that takes us to start-finish line, so CB Matt's going to lead the charge here, coming around for lap number 1. And let's see what kind of times our Pro-Ams have here tonight at Grand Valley Highway in comparison to those AMs and those Pro drivers. And it's going to be a 48.2 to start things off here for CB Matt. We got Fast Ginger coming through here in second place. It's going to be a 48.3. We got Lucky Alpha is going to be, looks like, our 3rd driver out here, and I think there was somebody up in front of him there. Miguel was up in front there, and it's going to be 3rd for Miguel. He's Lucky is going to stay in 4th. Death is going to take 5th. I'm trying to find the right driver. Egon's on a penalty there in that lap, so that's not going to count. ATB is going to move up into 3rd place. We got Agent Orange. He's going to move up into 4th place. We got Nolander coming through next. All right, we got to sort it out kind of, sort of, somewhat here. Let's go. Gran Turismo and their live timing is something sometimes. All right, so as Nolander comes up here, he's going to be heading up in through the Renee Cove Tunnel for his first hot lap and down through Doge Point. So let's see what Nolander has here, and this BMW is going to be quick on this straight line here. So here we go. A 151 is going to be good enough for 8th place, and now we got Egon, who's in 11th place. So it's going to be CB Matt and Fast Ginger, and then ATB there in 3rd place, Miguel in 7th. We're going to try to remember the order of these drivers the best we can here, but it gets a little difficult. All right, so purple sector coming from our provisional pole sitter CB Matt here right now on the racetrack. Fangs out VPR, watching for alien sightings. Let's go TT. Love this chat, love this community. CB Matt here we go. Let's see as he comes through the Renee Cove tunnel one more time there, and Fast Ginger looks like he may have made a mistake there. He fell quite a ways behind as we were just watching with Matt here, but we'll jump to Ginger next because we know he's going to be the next driver to come through, and it's going to be a 40. Oh, it is not. He lost a little bit of time there. Let's see what Ginger has as he comes through, and then we'll try to get to Miguel next. It's going to be a 48.9, so let's get to Miguel here next, and then ooh. Not sure what that was, a lag spike or something going on there. Alright, we had Lucky Alpha come through the 150. We had a 148.1 from Shredda taking pole position there. We got ATB, he's going to still stay in 4th place. We had Agent Orange coming behind him, didn't move any position there either. Let's see who else we got. I think we got Death. He's coming down in through Oceanside. There we go. We got nobody coming near the start-finish line. There we go. We got Nolander coming up near the start-finish line. So we'll sit on with Nolander here from Facebook Gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, he's definitely going to be live streaming over there. And again, I do apologize to our Facebook viewers, but hey, it happens. For some reason, it just wouldn't let me go live on Facebook tonight. Nolander does improve there, 49.2, so it's good enough for 6th position here currently on the grid that time around for Nolander. So it's going to be CB Matt and Fast Ginger here again coming back through. And where is Miguel? I'm not sure. So CB Matt merch here is purple again as he comes up into Dead Man's Curve. And he was purple here last time, and he gave it all away coming up through Condor and Zodiac here. And it's a very tough chicane uphill sector as well, so... Ah, we lost Miguel. Okay, I see what happened there. This looks like a good lap here from CB Matt, but there's a little bit of a spike there, and he's just missing his best lap there. Let's see what Ginger has as he comes around here. Ginger does improve a little bit there. Still good enough for, it's going to be good enough for 2nd place here now. I believe it's CB Merch now up ahead of this group, and then it goes to ATB, who I believe was sitting there in 4th place. Yes, indeed. ATK Death coming through the 149. That's going to be good enough there for 8th place. We got CB Merch is going to stay there in 5th. ATB is going to stay there in 4th place. Agent Orange is in 6th, and in pit lane here we got Egon coming through here in behind Shredda as well, our current pole sitter. So let's stick with these two here as they're getting near. Oh, they're in Oceanside right now. They're at the beginning of their lap. Lucky Alpha just came through there, and that looks like an out lap time. So it is Shredda still in pole position here, and he's got 3/100ths of a second currently over Fast Ginger. He gone very close in behind him there. Then it's CB Matt here in 3rd place right now, and he's actually going to be the next driver to get across the start-finish line here. So again, we'll stick with VPR CB Matt here. Hey, John. Oh, hey, that's Facebook notifications. Wah, wah. Fail on my part. Hey, that means I don't really need these things in my ear for right now because I don't need to worry about hearing anything. Fantastic. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, so that looked like a decent exit coming out of Condor and Zodiac right there. And as we head down in through the Renee Cove Bridge and Tunnel here for the 5th time already in qualifying, that leaves us with 6 minutes remaining here on the clock. Should give about 3 or 4 more laps for some of these drivers, depending when they come across the line, if they don't make any mistakes. So we're going to stick with Matt here and see if he can find some more time. It's going to be back to pole position there with a 148.099. Let's see what Fast Ginger has, and he's going to take pole position with a 47.822. We need to get back to Mr. Merch. Fifth place. Actually, looks like ATB has gotten in behind, so who is he behind there? We'll have to wait and see. Egon with a 48.2, going to be 4th place there for him. Merch does not get that improvement. ATB does not find an improvement that lap either. Let's see where Agent Orange is. Agent Orange is just coming around here. There's somebody up in front of him now as well. Could be Nolander. It is not Nolander. Nolander just came through. Could be Death maybe. No, maybe not. I don't know. Alright. It's an outlaw up here, so I guess it's irrelevant anyways. All that for that. Lucky Alpha here in 10th position, so we do have Miguel. Will start wherever his qualifying time puts him. And a big spike there. We're having some lag spikes here in the lobby tonight. I don't know how much I like that. Alright, we got CB Matt and ATK's Death here, second and I believe 9th place drivers currently here in qualifying, and they're coming around very close together. It looks like Death got a pretty good run out of Zodiac there, but so did Matt. So let's see what we see when these two come across the line. So our second and I believe 9th place driver here on the grid right now. That's a 47.8 there from CB Matt, so that was a good time there. Death does not get that improvement. He loses that position again to Fast Ginger. Comes in with a 47.481. Where's Shredder right now? He's just actually coming down the tunnel, leading another group of cars that's about to come and record another time here. So Fast Ginger and CB Matt battling for pole position here right now on the racetrack. Shredder does not find any more time there. Egon does not find an improvement there. Let's see what ATB and Nolander have as they come through. Neither one finds time for themselves there either. We got Agent Orange coming through next. He's currently 7th place here in qualifying. We'll see what he's got as he comes back down the racetrack here as well. Not an improvement there from that driver either. Where's Lucky? Lucky's just coming down into Oceanside here right now. So, alright, it is Fast Ginger here, and he's only got half a tenth right now over CB Matt. And then there's about almost 7/10 of a second between them and 3rd place driver Shredder. Then it's a 10th to Egon, then it's a 10th.5 to ATV, a 10th.5 to CB Merch. It's 3 100ths, and then a little bit of a gap again on about 7/10 of a second. So we're seeing some varying times here on the racetrack in race number 1 here in qualifying, and I actually was a little bit surprised. I kind of thought we'd see this get be a little bit closer here, but we have seen this track definitely separate both of the fields here in racing, and kind of almost separate them into two battling packs here all week long, and it kind of looks like we're going to see much of the same thing here again tonight. Death improving there with a 47.9. That's good enough for 3rd place there as he came across CB Matt. Doesn't close up any time there, but Death really benefits, moves himself up into a much better position here on the starting grid. With only 2 minutes remaining, these drivers are only going to get one more crack at this here, especially the ones that are coming up the line right now, like VPR Shredder. I believe that's Egon in behind him there. We're not going to see an improvement there. We're not going to see an improvement there. We got ATB and Nolander coming through. Let's see if any one of those two gets an improvement. No. Alright, so the driver is not finding that time here at the end of qualifying. That's a little bit surprising. We got Agent Orange coming through here. Let's go Nolander, keep pushing. Push, push, push. Alright, let's see what Agent Orange has got here. Looks like he's got a good time coming up the run here. It's going to be a 49. Yep, 49.5 there. Not his best lap here yet in qualifying. Lucky Alpha's at a 150.9 here. And Miguel was looking really good here too in qualifying. So he's kind of the wild card here now in race 1. We're not sure exactly what kind of pace he's going to have here tonight. Oh, we got ATK Death sideways around into Grand Valley Bridge there. A little bit of an evasive mover there from Ginger. As Death got it a little bit wrong there under the throttle. And we haven't seen any driver struggle too much yet in that spot. That was the first time we've seen a driver really have a bad struggle in that particular spot. So one of those Mercedes, just so much power in the rear wheels there. We just got a little away from him there. So it's going to be CB Matt here. He's going to have enough time for one more crack at it as he comes down through the tunnel here into Doge Point. So let's see what he gets this time around, and then he's got one more crack at trying to get that pole position. If he doesn't get it this time, Ginger versus Death for P3. 48.020, so he still isn't getting it here. Death is just going to park it there. He knows he doesn't have enough time to get back around here again, so we're going to see here with VPS Shredder here, and he's in that McLaren as well here tonight. Has been all season long, pardon me. Another one of those McLaren picked cars here for this driver. Let's see what he's got as he comes around here. And he doesn't find an improvement, neither does Egon, and that's going to be it for Egon here. It's going to be it for ATB. And Nolander there as well. ATB moves up into 5th place there. Nolander does improve as well. That's going to be good enough for 9th place there for Nolander. We got Agent Orange and Lucky Alpha up in front here. Alright, let's get back and see what's going on here. We got Ginger still on track. We got CB Matt on track. Death is finished. Red is finished. ATB is done. Egon is done. Merch is done. Done. Alright, so it's just Fast Ginger and CB Matt left on the racetrack here. And these two are going to get one more spin at the qualifying ring here. And boy, it's very, very close between these two. And, well, we could be in for a good race between Fast Ginger and CB Matt right off race start here tonight. So we'll have to see how it all shakes down. Alright, so it is CB Matt to come through first here. And he's going to take that pole position away from Fast Ginger. He's got splitting hairs here, and Fast Ginger comes through with another good time, but it is going to be CB Matt stealing pole position right at the end of qualifying there, and it is only by 0.032 seconds. So we got to get these results because I'm going to have to do some math now. So I can place these drivers correctly. Alright, so we gotta do a lobby reset as well. Alright, well, while we have a minute here. Alright, so the rule is here, if a driver disconnects in qualifying, the game still registers that driver's qualifying time if they put in a recorded lap. So that lap is considered if a driver does disconnect in qualifying. Let's go Apex Boy, says Heathen. So what that means is whatever their time is, of course we're gonna take a look at that. We're gonna place them in their appropriate spot on the lineup, and those drivers will start wherever their best recorded time while they're in qualifying puts them. So just because they disconnected in qualifying doesn't necessarily mean they're going to start at the back of the pack. It is still going to go based off of their best recorded time in qualifying, and thankfully for us, the game at least gives us that information. Good luck, ATB, says Larry. Alright, so once all the drivers check in, we'll get that grid set up, and we'll kick off a race. We're just waiting for the drivers to check in here. I'm waiting for one more. That Ginger Shred, ATV. Alright, we're just setting the grid up right now, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize here. I'm a little quiet tonight. I'm a little bit tired. Work wore me out today. Nolander Alpha. Alright, so now what we need to figure out is where the other two drivers fit into the big grand scheme of things here. 47,991, 49,849. So definitely should be in third, and Miguel should be ahead of Alpha. What? I'm confused here for a second. What is going on? Nolander Alpha. Nolander Miguel Alpha. Ah, there we go. Alright. Alright. That was a good one on the edge of the seat till the end. Well, just wait, the racing is about to get started. Alright, here we go. Alright, we'll be kicking this thing off just shortly here, ladies and gentlemen. Just waiting for word from race control that we're good to go. And race control just gave us the word that we're good to go. One more quick look at the list just to make sure. Yes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to go racing, and we didn't even forget to flip the screen. Let's go. Come on. Give us the good stuff. There we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, 15 minutes, no tire wear, no fuel consumption, racing soft tires, full send racing here from the Pro-Am class, Roving Island World Tour 2, presented by D. Racing. Kick them tires, light them fires, let's go racing. And I seen a false start there from Shredda, and everybody's going to have to navigate around them there. Ooh, and then we got a little bit of a nick there from VPR Agents Orange there. Just a little bit of contact there, and hopefully that didn't give him any damage there. So CB Matt's going to get a very quick jump up the inside here, heading into El Camino. Fast Ginger gets hung out there on the outside. Is he going to hold down second place here as Death is on the charge? Yes, Ginger is going to sit there, stay in second place. Death in third. We got ATB here in fourth. We've got CP Merch here in fifth place with Egon chasing in sixth. We got Nolander in seventh. Agent Orange in eighth there after a little bit of a rough start there, but no damage on his racing car. Fantastic. We got Shredda here in ninth place. A little bit of a touch there between Miguel and Alpha, but no harm, no foul done there. And everybody continues on here. So Alpha grabbing a quick spot there at race start as well. It is CB Matt from pole position and very quickly gets a very quick jump away from the pack here. Fast Ginger are trying to do much of the same thing. Almost got the slipstream broke here from ATK's Death right now in third place. ATB challenging right now here in fourth position. Couple car lengths in behind. CB Merch in the Porsche sitting here in fifth place, and ATB really closing up front here. Got Egon and Nolander also nose to tail there in behind CB Merch as we're heading down into Dead Man's Curve here. So as we come up the Grand Valley Bridge here for the first time, and very quickly this drivers have already kind of sorted themselves up. We're three wide there with Shredda in the middle. He gets through there, tucks back up in front, and we're going to have a little battle coming into Dead Man's Curve here. Nolander, Shredda, Lucky Alpha, Miguel, and Agent Orange all mixed in this battle here in the back of the back. Ooh, a little touch there between the two drivers. Oh, and then a little slide to try and correct himself. And oh boy, we have a mess going on in the back there. I don't know what's just happened there, but that doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Let's see what our camera crew tells us here. Oh, we just missed out, and I'm not sure what I see there. We just missed the incident. So one car spun around, one car stopped and behind that car, and a whole bunch of drivers all getting bottled up in a couple of contacts there. So looks like we're going to continue on here, but boy oh boy, that's not a good start for a couple of those races there. You and that screen, I swear. Fast Ginger here in second place, 1.7 seconds in behind Matt. We've got ATK's Death almost 2 seconds in behind the front. Two McLarens here right now, and he's still got ATB in tow. Just a car length separating these two drivers here right now on the racetrack. We got Nolander here in fifth place, so got through all the chaos there and took advantage, grabbing a couple spots. We got Lucky Alpha there in sixth place. We got Shredda up in the seventh place there, and a little power slide on the way through. We got Miguel in eighth. We've got Agent Orange here in ninth. We got Egon here in 10th, and we've got CB Merch here in 11th place. And Egon and and Agent Orange, both with damage on their racing cars here. So let's see what they can do with that here. There's a lot of racing left to go yet, with 11, just under 12 minutes remaining on the clock. So tough start, tough racetrack, bottleneck situation, and well, we don't know what happened. We can only speculate, but we seen the end result, and it wasn't good. It was tough, and drivers are going to have to drive really fast now to catch up. So let's see if they can do it. CB Matt here in first place. Ginger closing in here. He's got that gap down in the slipstream range here now, under 7/10 of a second as they come into the Renee Cove tunnel for the second time around the racetrack here. And he's definitely in slipstream range here. So let's just sit with this for a second, see if he can pull in close enough to try and do anything into El Camino. I don't think so. I think he's just going to settle in here and just continue to try and close up Fast Ginger with the fastest lap currently there, 47.8 is ATK's Death here in third place, and he's just trying to break that slipstream right now of ATB chasing the GTR in behind here in fourth place. Nolander closing in that BMW, but he's got Lucky Alpha closing in big time here, and ooh, half-second track limit penalty right there. Let's go ATB, get it up there, Apex up top. Hey, let's see if we can do it. Lots of time yet. VPR Shredder here in 7th place. We got Miguel now up into 8th place, and got through the incident there in Malibu. And that was a Malibu. No, it was in coming out of Zodiac there on lap 2. So to lap 1, Egon here in 10th place was one of those drivers collected up there, and he is about 14 seconds in behind the pack here right now, and CB Merch is about 3 seconds in behind him. So those two Porsche drivers are in for a long run here in the remaining 10 minutes of the race. But anything's possible, anything can happen. So CB Matt Merch here's got the gap almost back up to a second here on Fast Ginger as they come up in through the Grand Valley Highway here. Fast Ginger got a better exit there. You can see him closing back in, 100th at a time, 100th at a time, 100th at a time. ATK Death here, almost 5 seconds now. Those two McLarens have opened up here on this Mercedes driver. We got ATB, he's right there. He's just managing that gap at the moment here. Lucky Alpha now up into 5th place, found his way around, I'm not sure which driver it was there. Shredder perhaps is here sitting in 6th place. Now we got Miguel in 7th, we got Orange in 8th, we got Nolander. It was Nolander, and look at the damage on that racing car. Nolander definitely got it wrong somewhere there, and now he's fighting in that damage battle. Egon chasing here now and actually closing in a little bit as well. That's some heavy damage on that racing car of Nolander there. And we got CB Merch. He has no damage here. He's just trying to get back into his rhythm. So let's go see what's happening. A very spread out race here so far tonight. That little bit of an early race incident there as well, kind of helping spread the pack out a little bit. So, but that's all right. Don't be disappointed. It's not over till it's over, and we got a race number 2 coming up right in behind it as well. So is CB Matt. He's doing a great job at managing the gap to Fast Ginger here right now in 2nd place. We've got ATK's Death here in 3rd position. We got ATB here in 4th, and he is on a best lap this time around here too. And best lap last time around, 48.4, but that is almost a second off the pace of the drivers up front right now. Lucky Alpha here in 5th place as he heads up into Vista here. He's got Shredder and Miguel. Miguel looked like he was just a little bit out of sorts there, but he kept it underneath of him. And Agent Orange is chasing right here in 8th place. So it's 1, 2, 3, I believe 4 VPR drivers all in a row here. Brad Nolander chasing in 9th place. He's got 12 seconds now to those cars up in front. Egon is starting to put a little bit of pressure on him here, and has that gap down to under a second. And where is Mr. Merch? Mr. CB Merch here. Ooh, half-second track limit penalty here, and it's just not getting any easier right now for our silver Porsche driver ripping Nolander's arrow. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be fighting that car here. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Alright, so CB Matt here has a little under a second from Fast Ginger, so it seems like Fast Ginger closes up on him in the last half of the racetrack, but CB Matt seems to be a little bit stronger in the first half of the racetrack. Is kind of what it seems like it's looking like right now here in race number 1. And Ginger's been about as close as 6/10 of a second to the rear bumper of CB Matt since he got away right at the race start there. And he's done a great job at reeling him in, but he just can't quite get on the back bumper of that other McLaren at the moment. ATK Death here, he's trying to chase him down, but right now his bigger issue is this driver in behind, ATB. And as we jump on board here, it is this Mercedes and this GTR. They're both pretty equal in my opinion for this racetrack, I think. So Mercedes may have just a little more top end than the GTR, but that pull out of the exit this GTR has should definitely makes up for that straight line prowess that this Mercedes up in front has. But maybe just chilling right now. Just don't want to make the mistake. The big thing is keep your car safe here at Grand Valley. I mean, we've seen it for the last 2 nights in a row here. You get into these walls, you get off track, and it just causes problems for the racers and their cars, and well, the crew's got to fix their cars, so the problem just stems downhill from there. We have Lucky Alpha here in 5th place. Shredda and Miguel very close together. They're dipping the tire in the sand there. Was Lucky, but the inside sand, so it didn't affect that outside grip at all. We got Miguel here in 7th place. Agent Orange still chilling right there in 8th. Egon has gotten around Nolander there. A little less damage on the Porsche than the BMW currently, so just able to manage the race car a little better right now. Nolander, he's got his hands full. His rear and front aero are absolutely shot. It's going to be like driving a GT4 car right now with some GT3 power. Settle in, Merch. Keep it clean. Hey, he's doing good. He's doing good. He's doing good. It's a tough fight up there. Ginger's trying to apply some pressure here. Now he's closing in under half a second, as close as we've seen Fast Ginger to the backside of Matt since this race got underway here. And a little bit of lag coming from Fast Ginger here. We noticed that in the beginning of the race as well. And 47.8.556 there from Fast Ginger that time around. And we got some bad live timing here, so we may set a whole nice new fresh lobby up after this one. I don't know. But it is a battle here. May very well stay a battle all the way to the end of the race here. We've got one developing right in behind here for 3rd and 4th place between Death and ATB here as well from Apex Sim Racing. So, and then we got the VPR crew here all ripping down the racetrack, basically nose to tail right with each other here as well. So some good driving right there by those 4 drivers. Egon, he's chasing 13.7 seconds and losing time on those guys. He's just he's just hanging in at this time right now, just trying to get the best position he can. Nolander much of the same thing, and CB Merch much of the same thing. But the benefit is that'll place him in a really good starting position in race number 2. We miss you too, Petey. We miss you. We miss your speedy ways on the racetrack, my dude. Alright, we got a healthy fight going on between these two. Even though they're not in contact on the wall there from CB Matt, and that is going to allow Merch to finally, Fast Ginger to finally close in on him here. And this is battle on now. I was just going to say, these guys have been fighting hard here between each other, even though they're not physically battling. Now they're battling here side by side as we head up in the Condor. They touch tires a little bit. Ginger gets a little bit wide there. He reels that car back in, tucks right back in behind, and we are on a run here with 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. We're going to see about 3 more laps from these drivers, and oh boy, this is going to be down to the wire here between these two. And opportunity knocked there, and just unable to get the job done this time was Ginger, but he's going to tuck right back in behind, and he is going to continue charging up the racetrack here. We're going to be keeping an eye on those two. ATB has gotten around ATK's Death here as well to move up into 3rd position. Let's see if we can get a quick look at what happened there. Just happening some point before our Renee Cove Bridge here, and that's unfortunate we missed that. But ATB now defending to try and keep Death off of the podium here in race number 1 and take that final podium position. We got a battle between Shredda and Miguel here now as we head into El Camino, and side by side here GTR and that McLaren. The McLaren hangs it out hard on the outside and holds down the position, so Miguel's gonna have to try again. And another spot on the racetrack. We got Agent Orange here in 7th and Lucky Alpha here in 8th place, and now he's got some damage on his race car as well. So Egon in 9th. We got CB here now up in the 10th. He's made his way around Nolander and found a position, and that car is just a tough drive right now for Nolander. And oof, what do you do? I mean, hey, it is what it is. That's racing. He knew that the BMW was going to be a tricky car around this racetrack. It's a big, heavy car, hard to turn around the corners. So it really comes down to car management on this racetrack sometimes. And these MR cars are not having a whole lot of issue getting around this racetrack here, as you can see right now. CB Matt has put his foot into it right now as he's on a purple sector coming up the dead man's curve here. And Fast Ginger's still right there in tow. I mean, Ginger's not letting him get that toe broken. Ginger's trying to do everything he can here to get close back up on the bumper of that McLaren up in front so that he can ensue this battle for the race lead here. And we got 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining as we enter the tunnel here, and that is going to be good enough for 2 laps to go as we come around here. So here we go, side by side again. He was in that slipstream, and he's just going to drag race it up to the start-finish line here. And is going to be Ginger to come across the line in the lead. And is he going to hold it coming into El Camino? He's going to be on the outside of the corner here. He does have a little bit of a run, and yes, he is going to grab that position, so it is going to be Fast Ginger here now taking the race lead away from CB Matt with 2 to go. This battle is not over. We're going to be keeping our eye on that for sure. We got ATB here still holding off ATK Death here in 3rd place after getting the job done last lap there, and he's actually opened the gap up a little bit there on Death as well. Shredder here still in 5th place. We got Miguel in 6th. We got Lucky here in 7th position. Egon now up into 8th place there. We got CB Merch in 9th. We got Agent Orange in 10th, and Nolander here in 11th position. And it cannot wait for that clock to run out, I'm sure, at this point. So here we go. It's ATB and CB Matt, and I'm not sure if there was a little bit of a mistake made there by Matt. We just seen a little bit of that gap open up there. It's 1.3 seconds. This is perfect. This is exactly what Ginger needs here right now as he heads into the San Joaquin curve and into Windsock, the second part of this downhill S sector heading to Grand Valley Highway Bridge here. And he's got 1.5 seconds here on CB Matt right now. So heading up into the final sector there, he's got just a little tiny pinch of breathing room and just really needs to focus on nailing his exit coming out of the corner if he wants to try and get up that straightaway with being uncontested here. Let's get back up front here. We still got 11 drivers on track, so that's what I'm happy to see that here. All right, so it is Fast Ginger here still in the lead. 2 seconds now, the gap here between him and CB Matt. So one more time around here for Fast Ginger and Matt for 1st place here. And Fast Ginger is just opening it up here now. 2.5 seconds here as he heads up the straight through Doji Pass there, and one more time around for Fast Ginger. CB Matt's going to get one more time around. It's going to be ATB to come across. He's going to get one more lap, and so is Death. So this battle is not over here between 3rd and 4th place either. Should be a race finish here. No, Shredder will get one more time around here too, but he's picked up some damage as well. This is an opportunity for Miguel to try and shake him down, as this is going to be a final lap for these 2 drivers here as well as they cross the line with time to spare. Lucky Alpha is going to be right on the buzzer here, and I think it's going to be a race finish here for Lucky Alpha when he comes across, and it's going to be a 7th place finish here for Lucky Alpha. Egon's going to bring it home here in 8th place. CB Merch comes back up into a 9th place finish here as well. Agent Orange going to bring it home here for 10th position here tonight. Nolander's going to nurse that car across and get that thing into pit lane and get that crew working very hard on that BMW here for race number 2. But back up front, it is still Fast Ginger in the lead here. It's 2.8 seconds here now, so just needs to nail this last few corners here on the racetrack, and he can bring home a race 1 win for himself. But that means he's going to have to start at the back of the pack here in race number 2. CB Matt just entering the Grand Valley Bridge here right now, and he just didn't have an answer after the little bobble. I'm not sure what had happened there. We didn't quite catch it, but it was enough to separate these 2 and give Fast Ginger the breathing room he needed here. But it's not over till it's over here yet. There's still plenty of chances to make mistakes on this racetrack, even coming out of the final tunnel. So as we head up the Rene Cove Bridge here, it is Fast Ginger coming around the kink here, heading into Doge Pass, coming out of the tunnel. And it is going to be a race 1 victory here for 10/10 Fast Ginger. And that was a good fight here between him and VPR CB Matt Merch coming across here for a 2nd place finish. ATB, after having a good battle with ATK Death for a large part of this race, is going to bring home that final podium position in race number 1 for 3rd place. Death's going to bring it home here in 4th position. It's going to be Shredda and Miguel here for 5th and 6th place. Miguel's just running out of racetrack here to try and grab that last spot before the end of the race here. So it is going to be VPR Shredda in 5th and Miguel here in 6th position. So there we have it. That was a quick race. That thing flew on by, didn't it, chat? My goodness. My goodness. Alright, so it is Fast Ginger there with the race victory here in race number 1. First and foremost, save up those replays. We're going to make sure the drivers do the same thing. And we're going to get some race results here. Let's go look at their race results. So it is a Fast Ginger with the race win and fastest lap on the racetrack of 47.340. It's going to be CB Matt Merch here in 2nd position, ATB in 3rd, ATK Death in 4th. It's going to be VPR Shredda here in 5th place. It's going to be Miguel from VPR in 6th, Lucky Alpha from VPR in 7th. It's going to be TT Egon in 8th position. CB Merch from VPR in 9th, and Agent Orange from VPR in 10th, and Team Rad's Nolander rounding out the field here in 11th position. Oop, banging on my mic. Sorry, chat. I'm sorry, chat. That was probably not very nice. Alright, so give the drivers about a minute and a half here to get those replays all saved up, and then we'll set that grid again. So what do we think? That was a little bit of a spread out race here from our Pro-Ams in race number 1, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens here in race number 2. This one's going to be a little bit different. Now we head to our 30-minute sprint race. It's going to be a required soft and medium tire here in race number 2, so that means it's going to force a pit stop for these drivers when they choose to make that stop. It's entirely up to them. As long as they make one full circuit lap on each of those tires, that's all they need to do. So strategy really comes down to the drivers and the teams and what they think is the best optimal strategy to try and get a win here in race number 2 at Grand Valley. It's going to be a reverse grid based off of the finishing order of race number 1. So Fast Ginger will go to the back of the pack, and Lucky Alpha will come up and head into the front of the pack. Alright, I'm going to get ready just to load up our second lobby here. We're just going to make sure everything is good and beautiful. Looks like it, looks like it. Yep. Alright, we'll give them about another 30 seconds and we're going to flip that lobby over. Oh, baby. Seals. Nice. Good job, TT, says Josh. ATB, says Chris. I'm going to try my best to get in at least a couple races before the end of the series. Hey, you know, your spot's there for you, my guy. Your spot's there for you. Family comes first, my guy. There's nothing wrong with that, man. You definitely got to take care of your own first, my man. Well done, Ginger. You are making it very difficult to not cheer for you. See, I know, right, Leo? Right? Come on now. You know, you still got the warm and fuzzies up in that old chest of yours. Come on. All right. So we have a lobby change over here. Drivers are all checking in. Once those drivers are checked in, we'll line up that grid. And just like that, the drivers are checked in. All right. Alright, let's see, where is he? There he is. It's going to be Nolander on pole position. It's going to be VPR's Agent Orange sitting in second place there. And then it's going to be VPR's Lucky Alpha lined up. Sorry, CB Merge, pardon me, lined up in third place. And then it'll be Egon. Alpha, Miguel, Shredder, Test. Mr. ATV, Mr. Boom. Alright, Nolander, Agent Orange, CB Merch, Egon, Lucky Alpha, Miguel, Shredda, Death, ATB, CB, Matt, and Fast Ginger starting off in the back. I am Speed. Tough race one, but that just makes race 2 easier. You would think so, wouldn't you, TDC? Unfortunately for Nolander, he has incurred a drive-through penalty from race round number 5 for an incident on a racetrack, and he's going to have to serve that penalty within the first 3 laps of the race. So Nolander is going to have to work hard here to make something happen from pole position. All right, drivers are ready to go. Let's go racing. I know, flip the screen. Right, I'm on it now. It's not going to happen again. Yeah, I know, Leo. I'm aware, my dude. I'm aware. But you know, you still get a little bit of heart. Come on, a little bit of warm and fuzzies in there. Come on, Leo. Come on now. We just untapped the alien him. That's all we did. Alright, so it is Nolander on pole position here, and it's got lights are up, and we're about to go green here, and race control ain't messing around tonight, are they, ladies and gentlemen? These drivers are on a schedule, and there we go. We got a clean start by all 11 drivers on the racetrack here in race number 2, and here we go. So Nolander is up the charge here first. BMW has some good straight line speed here as well, and you can see 3 wide coming into the corner there with Egon on the outside, CB Merch on the inside, in the middle, and Lucky Alpha there on the inside. Lucky Alpha is going to get the job done. CB Merch and Shredda move up there. Egon's still sitting at 6, but CB Merch and Shredda are side by side here, and Shredda just files back in line as we head down through Oceanside. It's a tough sector to go side by side there, as you can see. Miguel and Death all leaning on each other there. I think there was contact there between Ginger and Miguel, and our race 1 leader there, I think, around into the corner there, and he's going to pick up a little bit of damage on that racing car there. So not the ideal start right there for race 1 winner Fast Ginger. So it is Nolander here in the lead. It's Lucky Alpha here in 2nd position. It's Agent Orange in 3rd. Merch in 4th place, with Shredda right in behind here in 5th, and he got a great run coming up in through Rock Slide into Ocean Shelter here. And let's see if he takes a look. No, he's just going to settle in behind. CB Merch is aware he's there. A little bit of a touch there between the 2 drivers. You can see Shredda backs off a little bit, but you got to be careful with that. We got a pack bearing down on him here. You don't want to bottle up the pack. And now Egon's going to try and take advantage here in 6th place, and couldn't get the job done. We got a driver pulling off to serve a penalty there, so Egon and Shredda both move up a position here on the racetrack. We got Death in 8th position here, so moving up a couple of spots. We got Miguel down into 9th place there. We've seen a little bit of tussle between him and ATK's Death there. We have ATB here in 10th position. We got Ginger there in 11th place here as well, and he's got rear aero damage, so it is it's going to be a long drive for that driver here very early on. He can recover? Absolutely, TDC, I agree. So it is Nolander here, and he is still in the lead here as we come across the start lap number 2, but he's got a half-second track limit penalty, so that's not ideal. We got Lucky Alpha here in 2nd position. We've got Agent Orange here in 3rd place. We've got Shredda here in 4th position, with Egon in 5th now, and he's still holding on to that spot for the time being. We got CB Merch very close in behind, and CB Matt up into 7th place here, and he is slowly but surely starting to pick his way through the field here. ATK Motorsports Death, pardon me, in 8th place here, with Miguel up in 9th. So Miguel now getting some heat up in those tires and starting to get moving, and ATB right in behind him here as well. Matching cars here, these two, so should be able to potentially even work together if they're on good pace with each other. And Fast Ginger here is actually closing up the gap a little bit now on the back of the pack. It depends on how bad that damage is on the back of that race car and how hard he hit the wall there. It could only be nominal damage, and he's just getting used to it, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so it is Nolander here, and as he heads down into the Grand Valley Highway bridge here, he's going to have to serve that penalty, and it's a tough penalty zone. They moved it after the update, and it really forces the drivers to move over, and Lucky Alpha getting it wrong there, and he's going to drop down a whole bunch of spots, and that was just on throttle coming into Grand Valley Highway. So Agent Orange is going to move up into second place, Shredder's going to move up into third, Egon's going to move up into fourth, Merch is going to move up into fifth. Death goes on the outside of CB Matt here, coming up Dead Man's Curve, gets on the inside for Condor. He's going to get the job done there. CB Matt is going to fall back into seventh place for the time being. Miguel's up here in eighth with ATB still in ninth position. We got Fast Ginger now up in the 10th place there with that mistake from Lucky Alpha, and Lucky Alpha with some front aero and suspension damage on his race car there as well. And we've seen that happen before here on the racetrack. So Nolander coming in to serve that penalty there, and this is just a stop and go penalty, so no services allowed there. So Nolander has cleared that penalty. He is good to go, and now it is game on for him. He should come out with some clean racing here. We've seen already in the past that the drivers that have started to drive through penalty in a 30-minute sprint race have a great shot at making a recovery drive, because it just seems to be the way it works out. They get in some clean racing here. They're not affected by traffic. They can really focus in and put down some good quality laps. We got CB Merch getting it wrong there. Could drop down to fourth place. Egon's going to move himself up into P3 there. CB Matt gets around Death, now up into fifth place there. Death into sixth. Miguel in seventh, and ATB here in eighth. We got Fast Ginger still chasing. And what is that gap? 6.6. So they are closing in on those GTRs a little bit. Nolander is right there in behind here in 10th place. So Nolander came out just in behind Fast Ginger and only 15 seconds in behind the race leaders. So definitely not out of this race by any stretch of the imagination. We got Lucky Alpha here in 11th. He's pit and fixed that damage. All right, Attack Motorsports. Yeah, sorry, Leo, my bad. So it is Agent Orange here in the lead. We've got Shredder here in second position. We've got Egon here in third. We've got CB Merch here in fourth. We got Matt in fifth. So the brothers here fourth and fifth place right now on the racetrack. We got Death still right on the rear bumper of that McLaren driver here, and he's been chasing CB Matt down all season long here. So the Attack Motorsports driver looking very solid here in Grand Valley today. We have Miguel here in seventh position. We've got ATB here in eighth place from Apex Sim Racing. He has not made it around Miguel. Miguel's actually broken around a little bit here. So Nolander here in ninth position. Now he has gotten around Fast Ginger there. Of course, Nolander doesn't have a damaged race car, so Fast Ginger here in 10th place, and quickly watching that BMW drive off into the distance there as he's trying to hold on to the slipstream of Nolander there, but just can't quite keep that car in it. We've got Lucky Alpha here in 11th, and he's got lots of clean air right now, so the bigger question is, I guess, what kind of strategy do these drivers that are on the back foot now work out as they're going around the racetrack to try and make up track position? That's really the bigger question here. We got Shredder here now in the lead of this race. We got CB Merch here in second. We got Egon here in third. We got Agent Orange in fourth place, and CB Matt starting to put pressure on him here in fifth position as well. ATK Death still sitting here very strong in sixth place as well with this Mercedes. We got Miguel here in seventh place, and ATB's right there, not trying to force a move here, I don't think. It seems like these two are just trying to work together to try and catch back up to that front pack, and they're not really all that far behind in reality. It's only 3.7 seconds here, and yet that is, ATB had an opportunity there to take a look up the inside, and he chose not to, so that does tell me that's kind of what's going on back there. We got Fast Ginger still trying to stay in the slip of that BMW here right now, and the saving grace is going to be this middle sector most likely, but once that BMW gets back into some open straight line, that is definitely where it's going to show its strength over that McLaren, especially that McLaren with some rear aero damage on it. So it is VPR Shredder here, and he's got a nice little cushion right now, 1.7 seconds away from the rest of the group. Egon here just getting it done on CB Merch, and he's going to move up into second place. We'll go back and take a look at that in just a moment here. Let's keep an eye on this as we got nose to tail here coming back into El Camino. We got Agent Orange and CB Matt there as well. Nose to tail. CB Matt's going to take a look up the inside here. Agent Orange is going to take a look up the inside here. CB is going to cover that off. CB Matt backs out. He sees what's going on up there. Agent Orange is going to get a nice little switcheroo there, and it looks like he's going to grab that podium position there from CB Merchant. Agent Orange is going to take a look up into P3, but CB Merchant is like, oh, we're not done here yet, buddy. We are going to take it side by side through Oceanside. Let's see who's got it, and it's going to be Agent Orange, and CB Merchant goes off track there. CB Matt going around there. Very nice job getting back onto the track safely, but that means he's going to have dirty tires. And and he's going to go into the wall hard there. I'm not sure if he made a little bit of contact with Agent Orange there, but Agent Orange had to check up. CB Matt's going to move up into third place there. ATK Death closing in now in fifth. We got Miguel and ATB here in 6th and 7th place. And boy, that was an interesting moment right there on the racetrack. We got Ginger here in 9th. We got CB Merch now down into 10th place there after his mistake going into Malibu Point there and through Oceanside. And he did a great job at not collecting up any other cars there, in my opinion. So good job to CB Merch there. That's exactly what you like to see out of these drivers. Great track awareness right there. So it is Shredder still leading the way here, and he's looking good. 1.7 seconds, still managing the gap here right now on Egon here in 2nd place. Egon is trying to close up the gap, but he needs to worry about this guy right here, our championship points leader, CB Matt, now really starting to put some pressure on here in 3rd place. We've got Death now up into 4th place, so he's found his way around Agent Orange, and he's got 3.8 seconds now to get back up to the fight for the podium position here. We got Agent Orange in 5th there. We got Miguel here in 6th. He's having a nice little race here. He's bringing ATV right along for the ride, and this is working. These guys are catching up to the pack here, so a little bit in the fair play between these two drivers, and it's going to reward them for a chance at battles for more positions here on the racetrack. We got Nolander in 8th position with Fast Ginger still kind of holding on here. He's doing a really great job at hanging on to the rear bumper of that BMW driver here right now, and getting a little bit of free speed around the racetrack here. CB Merch here in 10th position, and we got Lucky Alpha here in 11th. So far, the Fast Ginger been able to put the work in there to stay in the slipstream of that BMW where it counts the most, and some good racing strategy right there coming from that McLaren driver in 11th place. 11th place here, or in 10th place here, right? 9th place right now. VPO Shredder here still leading the way, but that gap has disappeared quickly. Egon has dipped about halfway into that 2-second lead here almost. But Shredder's getting it back here as we head down up in through Rock Slide, heading to Ocean Shelter. And boy, look at that time that CB Matt just made up on Egon coming into that corner right there. All kinds of gap closed up right there. And boy, we're going to have a good feisty fight here, I think, between 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place, potentially before the pit stops even happen here. We're only coming up to end of lap 6. I do suspect we'll start seeing pit stops happen at lap 8 or later, but could be wrong. We got Miguel in 5th. We got Agent Orange in 6th. Miguel's grabbed another spot here as well. He's charging hard. ATB's in 7th. He's closing in on this group here himself. Nolander in 8th with Fast Ginger right there in 9th. And boy, they're not that far off the pack either. So anything can happen here yet in this race tonight. We got CB Merch here in 10th position. We got Lucky Alpha here in 11th. It's Egon, fastest driver on the track right now, the 49.789. It is still Shredder leading the charge here, though. And as we head down through the Renee Cove tunnel here, it's Egon and CB Matt really fighting it out here for 2nd and 3rd place in behind the race leader right now. We're side by side for 2nd and 3rd position here as we come into El Camino. That should give CB Matt the inside line, but it doesn't mean that Egon can't hold it. And a switcheroo takes it up the inside and eats a whole lot of that curve there. Great job of keeping that car underneath him. You see, you get a little bit of a bounce there. Tried to really take it back up the inside there, and just didn't have the track there to do it. But great job there to keep it all underneath him and not slide out. Just keeps it out of the dirt and Oceanside there. He's going to have to just gather himself up real quick, take a deep breath, and just reel that driver back in. We got ATK Death here in 4th place, and boy, he's got a pack coming down on him right now. Looking in the rearview mirror, he's just got cars coming. And Miguel really closing up the gap there under braking here in 5th place. And Agent Orange did much of the same thing on Miguel there as well here. And ATB's just chilling right now in 7th place here. He's not really forcing anything here. He's just saving that race car right now. Very patient race for this driver at the moment. Nolander here in 8th place. He's been pushing hard to try and catch up to that pack, and that's been benefiting Fast Ginger in behind because he's been pulling him along for the ride. So even with that damaged race car, it's still giving Fast Ginger an opportunity to potentially fight here at the end of this race. So back up front here, let's go see what's happening with our top 3 here, as they're only separated by like 3 seconds tops here, 1.3. That was a huge wrong guess on my part, but it is still Shredder leading the charge here. A little wiggle as he is heading up out of Dead Man's Curve into Condor and Zodiac there, but he gets a good solid exit and a little wiggle coming out. CB Matt gets a nice, good, solid drive out of the corner there, so we're probably going to see that gap close up a little bit here, and that is the case. But with that gap closing up, meaning Egon in the slipstream of CB Matt, that gap means also Egon's pulling in, and this is going to very quickly become a 3-0 battle for the lead. And Egon's going to go, nope, I'm going to dip in, and we're going to go undercut here. So Egon in pit lane, the first of our drivers to make a scheduled pit stop here. ATK Death is going to follow him in here as well. Miguel's going to go around. We see the driver coming in behind Miguel as well, so Miguel moves up into third place. It's going to be ATB following him in. Ginger's going to stay out as he's actually past Nolander there. I'm not sure how what happened there, but got him in the slipstream. ATB here in 9th place. We got Death here in 10th. We got Lucky Alpha here in 11th place. And where is he? May not be able to grab position there, but he's going to be able to close up the gap side by side there between CB Matt and Shredda, and a little bit of contact there. Matt's going to back up, and he's just going to give that spot back to Shredda there, and that is just beautiful right there. We love to see that. Matt's going to re-engage that battle here again and try it all over. So absolutely top level racing right there by CB Matt, ladies and gentlemen. And what do we have left in this race? We're about at that vote time already, aren't we? All right, so we gotta get some votage up. Alright, you guys keep an eye on that action for a second while I set this poll up for everybody. Ooh, ooh. Let's jump up here. Let's keep an eye on what's going on here right now in our race lead. Let's see if these guys come into pit lane or not here as well. Alright, so that poll. I'm not allowed to vote. Just close it, please. Thank you. Alright, so Shredda's still in the lead of this race. 10.4 seconds up the road from Agent Orange here. We got Nolander now up into 3rd place. Got CB Merch here in 4th. We've got CB Matt in 5th and has made that pit stop. Got Egon here in 6th place, has also made his pit stop. ATB in 7th, made their stop. Death has made theirs in 8th place. We got Miguel here in 9th after making their stop. Ginger here in 10th. Had to repair damage, so that cost him a few extra very valuable seconds in pit lane there in that pit stop, and it actually put him down quite a few positions there in the sequence. But we'll see what happens when the whole sequence sorts themselves out, and then it's going to be race on to the checkered flag here for the remaining 14.5 to 13.5 minutes, whenever it is that these drivers off the pit. But it is still Shredda here leading the charge, and 11.1 second gap here now as he heads up the Renee Cove bridge and enters into the Renee Cove tunnel here for the 9th time here in race number 2. And as we head to the start-finish line, what is he going to do? It looks like he's going to go around again. He's in no hurry here to make that pit stop. He's going to continue trying working on that gap. Agent Orange here in 2nd position. A little bit of front suspension damage on this race car, and it looks like he's going to bring this thing into pit lane. That is indeed the case. Nolander's going to stay out for another lap here. We got CB Merch here in 4th position as well. And, ooh, almost got it wrong in the tunnel there. A little bit of a slide as he is coming through, and he's going to bring it into pit lane. So that's going to give CB Matt's 3rd place as he comes across the start-finish line here. And that's going to put Egon right there in behind in 4th position. And what's that gap? 2.1 seconds right now between those two drivers. Where is ATB as he comes up here? That should put ATB in behind those drivers. And one of those, Agent Orange, has been released from pit lane here. Let's see if he gets out in front. It doesn't look like it. Miguel's going to jump up into 7th place here. It's going to put Agent Orange out in 8th place. Fast Ginger is going to come out just in behind him and in between Orange and CB Merch here. So up into 9th place there. So not losing any positions in that pit stop. We have CB Merch there in 10th, and we got Lucky here in 11th place. And oof, fighting the track limit penalty there. And oh yeah, the race control officials here, they don't mean business. There is not much for track limits here, but if you break them, they pin you on them. That's just the way it is here at Grand Valley. So it is VPI Shredder here, and he is now heading up Dead Man's Curve on lap 10, and looking real solid here right now. 15.8 seconds over Nolander here in 2nd place as he's heading up the Grand Valley Bridge right now. CB Matt's chasing is 9.5 seconds down the road. He's most certainly going to leapfrog those drivers when they finally do make their pit stop. How many positions those two drivers are going to lose, it's hard to say. We're going to say they're going to come out somewhere in between Death and Miguel most likely, but it depends on how much racing fuel they also have to take. So Shredder coming into pit lane right now. Nolander has a pretty dead front tire here, so I guess it's going to have to see if he comes in or not. Definitely trying to maximize that softer tire here, and he's going to go one more time. He's feeling good out there. They must like the way the car feels. So we got CB Matt here in 3rd place, and the gap to him and Nolander is about 8.8 seconds. So he ate a second out of Nolander there that time around. Shredder's coming out of pit lane here right now. Egon's going to move up into 3rd place and take that position away from Shredder there. So the undercut grabbing Egon a spot there. Shredder's going to sit out in between Egon and ATB here. So where's ATB? About 4 seconds in behind and closing. ATK Death here in 6th. We got Miguel here in 7th position. We've got Fast Ginger now up into 8th, so he's gotten around Agent Orange here. We got CB Merch in 10th, and we've got Lucky Alpha here in 11th position. So it is going to be CB Matt to take the race lead back here once Nolander does decide to make his pit stop. He's got 7.4 seconds. That should put him out somewhere in around Fast Ginger and Agent Orange when he does make that pit stop, because again, he's not going to take nowhere near as much fuel because he's really extended that soft tire stint out here on this BMW, and that's about what you expect to see out of a driver that deserved that penalty there early on in the race. So see how that works out for him here now as far as where he comes back out on the track. CB Matt's closing in though, 6.5 seconds. Egon's 3.7 seconds in behind there. We've got Shredder here in 4th position. We got ATB here in 5th and chasing Death here in 6th place. We've got Miguel in 7th, and everybody's a little gapped out here right now. We got Fast Ginger chasing 1.8 seconds in behind. Agent Orange is 1.6 seconds behind Ginger. 2.5 seconds to CB Mercer in 10th, and Lucky Alpha is about 25 seconds in behind still, so hasn't really gained or lost any time since the early pit for damage on that racing car. Really unfortunate there for that car, for that driver. He's looked really good here tonight, so there we go. Our race leader now coming into pit lane, so he will change up those racing tires, get some of that VP racing fuel in that BMW, and he'll get back out as quickly as that crew can get him back out on track and see where he settles into the field here. So it is going to be CB Matt to take over the race lead here. Egon is chasing in 2nd place. He's got 5 seconds right now to the McLaren driver up in front. We got Shredder here in 3rd position trying to chase Egon down and dripping a little bit of time off him here as he comes around El Camino. ATB here 3.3 seconds away in behind Shredder, with Death still chasing 4 seconds in behind him. Then it's Miguel in 6th place. We got Fast Ginger and Nolander here as Nolander comes out of pit lane right about in between Ginger and CB Merch, I figured, and he comes out right in behind Fast Ginger here, as a matter of fact. So Ginger moves up into 7th place. Nolander comes back out in 8th place here, so not too bad. We got Agent Orange here in 9th position. We got CB Merch there in 10th, and we got Lucky Alpha. We had some damage coming in for a pit stop. Right, so it is CB Matt here, and it's 5.5 second lead right now as he is on lap 12 with 8 minutes remaining. 8 big minutes remaining. Right now, the chasing driver is Egon, and it's in 2nd place, 5.7 seconds, and continuing to grow. And that gap is just hanging steady right now, 4.1 seconds between him and VPR Shredder. We've got ATB here in fourth position and trying to close in on Shredder here to grab another podium position. He's slowly but surely chiseling away at that time gap as well. ATK Death here in fifth, and he's just, again, same thing, just kind of keeping that gap where it is right now. Miguel is unable to close up the gap on ATK Death, and now finding himself in a heated battle here with Fast Ginger, who is looking to try and get sixth place here from this driver. And as we come out of Zodiac, it is a pretty good battle here between Miguel and Fast Ginger here. We got Agent Orange and Nolander as well in 8th and 9th place. They're having a little battle, and Nolander's just getting those tires all scrubbed in here. So once those tires start to feel good, we'll see what he can do with them. But it is CB Matt here in the lead, 6 seconds now over Egon. 4.4 seconds to third place Shredder here. 2.4 to ATB, and he is closing in. So bit by bit, we have Death here 4.7 seconds, and ATB's kind of looking like he's one of the fastest drivers on the track here currently. Fast Ginger has gotten around Miguel. To see if we can go find that move here, and there we go. As we're heading right up into El Camino there, he just makes sure he gets his car placed up on the inside coming into that corner and holds a nice tight line through there, and just no response from the GTR driver there. He just lets him go and battle on between those two there drivers. So great move there by Fast Ginger. Thank you to the camera crew for that replay as well. Got Miguel chasing there now in 7th. We got Agent Orange has gotten around Nolander there as well, and let's see if we can find that move is here as well. Oh, it looks like we got Agent Orange got it wrong there. It was actually coming into Malibu Point there. A little bit of a late break there from Orange, and getting around there, and then potentially having a moment on the racetrack just when we went to go check the replay out there. And most certainly the case here is now he's down into 10th place. So Nolander grabbing the spot back and moving back up into 8th place, and that car now not really there to battle with him. So it's CB Matt here still in the lead of the race. It's Egon here in 2nd position. It's Shredder in 3rd place, not able to close up on Egon. ATB here closing in. 2 seconds is the gap now to Shredder. It was 2.4 last time we were there. ATK Death here losing a little bit of ground on ATB right now, and it is Fast Ginger has finally made his way around Miguel, and he's actually opened up the gap here. So now he's trying to chase ATK Death down. Miguel here in 7th position. We got Nolander here in 8th place as well, and having a good recovery drive here so far. He just needs to keep it mean and clean the rest of the way through. Might find some more positions here yet on this racetrack. CB Merge very close in behind, though, only 0.8 of a second in behind, chasing here in 9th place. Agent Orange with the mistake there, finding himself chasing teammate in behind, 2.5 seconds in 10th place, and Lucky Alpha here in 11th with just a tough race number 2 here for that driver. Had a couple of damage repairs, a couple of nose clips replaced on that car here, and still out on track, thankfully. But tough race for Lucky Alpha here tonight, but it is still CB Matt Merge with the lead of this race, and I mean, it's his to lose at this point now. Let's go, boys, get him. It is Egon here in 2nd place, and really his job now is just to make sure that Shredder and ATB don't close in here. So 4.1 seconds is that gap to the 3rd place driver, Shredder, and boy, ATB is really closing in here, though. He's got that gap under 2 seconds now, and there's 4 minutes remaining. Is it enough time, though, is the question. ATK's Death here in 5th place, and he's opened losing that gap to Fast Ginger very quickly. Fast Ginger is absolutely tearing in to that Mercedes here right now, and is fastest driver on the racetrack with a 147.636 here as well. So finally gotten in some open air, and he is trying to make up some ground. Miguel here in 7th position. We got Nolander here in 8th. We got CB Merch still very close behind, even closer than he was just a little while ago there. Just a couple car lengths in behind as we head up at the Dead Man's Curve here, and you see how much better the Porsche is through these technical bits of the racetrack here. You just takes a much more straighter angle into it, where Nolander really has to set that BMW to throw it through the corner. And in relation, that's just allowing Merch just to sit in behind him and just continue on the throttle and just stay in behind that BMW, because once that BMW gets into that straight line, that's where it's really strong. So some good racing going on between the Porsche and the BMW driver back there. It is CB Matt here, and the gap not changing. Egon still as much of the same thing here. He's just keeping it nice and smooth and simple. We got Shredder here in 3rd position as well, and ATV is closing in. He's really starting to put the pressure on here. 1.3 seconds now is the gap. He's almost in the slipstream range here of that last podium position. We got ATK's Death here in 5th place, and boy, he's got his own problems right now with Fast Ginger very close behind here. At 47.442 last time around, and this driver is on an absolute mission right now. If he had another 20 minutes on the clock, I would look out podium, I think, here tonight. Miguel in 7th position. We got Nolander here in 8th with CB Merch starting to put some pressure back on here. He's got that down to 4/10 of a second as he's in behind this BMW. And he's going to take a look up the inside there. Nolander opens up the door a little bit, having to set that car up into the corner. And CB Merch is going to try and get the job done there. A little bit of tire rubbing going on there between the two. And as we head into San Joaquin Curve, it's going to be a fairly easy move here, I think, for that Porsche. But Nolander's hanging it tough out there on the outside in the marbles in that BMW. And as we head to Grand Valley Bridge here, Nolander might get the advantage on exit just because that car, he almost lost it. That was a great save right there by Nolander. Super, super close to losing the back end of that car right there. We got Agent Orange here in 9th position. We got Nolander dropping back to 10th there, but a nice save from that driver. And Lucky Alpha here in 11th place. And oh boy, that got a little interesting there late in the race. And and a very, very uncharacteristic mistake made there by CB Matt, going really, really deep into turn number 1 there, and potentially the final lap for these drivers here. So it's going to allow Egon to gain a little bit of time on him, but it's not going to be enough really to make a big difference there. Shredder here is only closing in though 3.8 seconds, and ATV just cannot close in close enough to make something happen here. He's still 1.3 seconds in behind. We've got ATK's Death here in 5th place, and he's still holding off Ginger, but for how much longer is the question. Ginger is right there on the back tail of this Mercedes as we head down through Oceanside and into Malibu Point. Are we going to see a move here from Fast Ginger? No, we are not. Fast Ginger is just going to settle in behind for the time being, maybe strategizing where this move needs to happen here on this Mercedes. We got Miguel in 7th, we got Merch in 8th, we've got Orange in 9th, we've got Nolander in 10th, and we've got Alpha here in 11th position. So it is CB Matt here, and 45 seconds left on the clock. Is he going to get another go at Grand Valley here? Egon in behind, 8.2 seconds in behind here, and Shredder chasing. So the timer is going to be very close here for CB Matt as he heads up into the Rene Cove Bridge, potentially for the final time here this race tonight. And where is our gap here? Alright, nothing brewing immediately there. I figure we better go check. Alright, so it is going to be CB Matt here, and I think he's going to just get around here. Oh boy, does he have the fuel to go around another lap is the bigger question. No, he's trying to drain the clock out here. Can he get the clock drained out? Oh, he's going to lose the position to Egon. Oh no. Oh no, it's all gone wrong there for CB Matt, and thankfully for him, Shredder's going to come across in 3rd place. ATB's going to come across there in 4th place. ATK Death there in 5th with Fast Ginger very close in behind there in 6th place. It's going to be Miguel here in 7th position. It's going to be CB Merch here in 8th place, and there's a battle happening between Nolander and Agent Orange here, and we're going to get to this. And Nolander's just running on a racetrack. There's going to be a 10th place finish there for Nolander. It was a great drive there from him. It's going to be Lucky Alpha here coming through in 11th place, and well, CB Matt's out of fuel, so he's going to be rolling around the racetrack at a very low rate of speed here, and very fortunate because Shredder and the Death there in 4th place in behind a Fast Ginger could have potentially all grabbed position there as well. No. That's a tough break right there. That's a tough break right there for CB Matt. Alright, so it is going to be Lucky Alpha here from Victory Pace Racing coming across here in 11th position. It's going to be Egon to bring it home here for the race win. And boy, a fuel miscalculation there by CB Matt, and that is going to be a race victory for Egon here in race number 2 due to that miscalculation. That's so crazy. No way, says Josh. That's racing. We see drivers run out of fuel quite a bit this season. The strategies are just so to the liter of fuel. Just one little misstep is all it takes, and as you can see there, CB Matt is rolling up the hill here coming into dead man's curve here with just enough reserve fuel in that racing car to bring this thing home here, maybe before the timer runs out. We got 25 seconds remaining here. He's not going to quite make the start-finish line here, but it is going to be a second-place finish here for CB Mats. So rolling down the racetrack here as he's coming down the bridge here. Just enough of a downhill incline. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. You still can. The pole's not closed yet, Leo. Poll will be closed very soon. Very, very soon, though. Alright, so it is TT's Egon with a race victory here in race number 2. So there was a little bit of a shock in events there, a little twist in the events there from. Did not expect to see that happening, and I don't think CB Matt expected to maybe get that extra lap here potentially in his strategy tonight, and that may have cost him here today. But it is Egon here with the race win. CB Matt in second position is going to be VPR Shredder coming home in third place. It's ATB right in behind there in fourth. ATK Death and TT Fast Ginger drag racing to the finish line for fifth and sixth place. Fast Ginger with fastest lap on the racetrack both races today. We have Miguel here in seventh position and CB Merch from VPR here in eighth place. It's Agent Orange here in ninth from VPR in ninth. We've got Nolander here in 10th position and Lucky Alpha there in 11th. And I'm not sure why I gave him a 1 minute penalty there, because I'm pretty sure he took the right tire compound. So we'll look into that. But yeah, good race by all our racers there today, that's for sure. Alright, we're going to flip you back over to this interview screen. We're going to let you enjoy some highlights for a few minutes while we get some driver interviews set up, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second penalty, not 1 minute penalty. Thanks, TDC. Yeah, you're right. Track limit penalty, doubled the penalty to 1 second. Good call, my dude. Good call. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple of our drivers
Just with some
up in the
pedal to the metal, man.
interviews here, and I'm just going to zip that off here for a second. All right, we have Fast Ginger, Egon, and ATB up in the house. So we're going to start with ATB, our third place finisher here in sprint race number 1. So from Apex Sim Racing here, and looking real good in that GTR all season long. You can see in the standings he was sitting second overall coming into the championship race here tonight, and a couple of really good strong runs from this driver here on Grand Valley Highway 1. So congratulations on your third place finish there in race number 1, and talk us through your night here tonight. How was it out there?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Didn't have a lot of practice with other people on the track, unfortunately. Just schedule didn't line up for it too much, so I wasn't quite used to the dirty air that, especially going into sector two, um, how my car would react to that. And I think that kind of held me up a little bit in some of the races, but like I was just chatting with Egon here in the driver's lounge before, sometimes that's just racing. Um, but yeah, I'm still pleased with the results. You know, wasn't too sure how I do on this track. I like it. I enjoyed driving it. Just wasn't sure with the being next to the ocean how much the wind was going to affect. And I think sometimes having a headwind coming up the front straight made it a little tough to pass people even when having the draft, because right as you get out of it, just it's like a brick. You just kind of hit a brick wall of air. But you know, that's just those things that are kind of out of your control. But yeah, outside of that, I think it was still some really good driving. And like I said, really good racing with Death in the first race, and I was trying to track shut it down on the second one. Just I think I was just catching him in the wrong points, and he was hitting all of his marks. And so got to give him props for holding up P3 in the second race.
Absolutely, and I mean, just falling short of the podium in race number 2, finishing just in behind Shredder there in 4th place. But boy, if you had a couple more seconds left on that clock, you'd be standing there, sitting there on 3rd place as the race leader, CB Matt, running out of fuel just before the start finish line there, to try and hope that clock was going to run out for him in time there. But unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. But great racing from you. Like you said, you just it looked like you just really kind of tried to stay patient and just try to kind of keep the car out of trouble for the most part tonight. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I didn't want to get off in the sand, be building some sandcastle, or hanging out with the seals or any of that kind of stuff. And there was a couple times it got a little squirrely on me, but yeah, it was just trying to keep it off the wall and keep it off the super strict track limits that they have here. I mean, there's a couple places that if you just go a little bit, inside of that white line, you'll get hit with like a second and a half penalty. So I was trying to avoid that.
Absolutely, and there's not a whole lot of track limits here on Grand Valley Highway 1, but boy, oh boy, the race stewards we're definitely ready to enforce them if you did break what very little bit of track limit is on this racetrack. And I mean, tough racing out there to cooler track conditions, and it really seemed like that the McLarens and the Porsches were really, really strong here on the racetrack today in comparison to, say, our front engine rear wheel drive cars here today. So that leads us going into next week at Red Bull Ring for a 1 hour endurance race. How do you feel about Red Bull Ring?
Pretty confident going there. There's a couple sectors need to clean up a little bit where I know where the MR cars will be strong. So I gotta try and optimize what I can going into that, and then hopefully qualify as front as towards the front of the grid as I can, because we all know that first turn and technically third turn can get awful sketchy at Red Bull. So it's just going to be staying ahead of everyone I can and just surviving, and then kind of settle in for a race and see where we're at when the checker flies.
Absolutely, and I mean that's racing in a nutshell, right there, isn't it? But I guess with that being said, any final remarks and any shout outs you'd like to throw out there to the viewers at home watching?
Yeah, I mean, as always, my Apex teammates, so with real life this week, wasn't able to be on track with them too much. But we were kind of, talking in the shop, kind of giving each other pointers when we weren't on track together. And yeah, so like, look pretty solid results in all three lobbies, I think. And then just kind of give a shout out to all the other racers, all the other podium finishers. Great job, especially here where passing's at a premium. But yeah, just looking forward to seeing what an hour endurance at Red Bull will how that all pan out.
Absolutely. Well, another great race here by you this evening, and a set of races. Sorry, pardon me, here this evening, and definitely gonna help continue to stack those points up in the championship standings. So, with that being said, we'll let you get back to that clubhouse and let you go celebrate with your racing team here this evening.
All right, thank you very much. And another quick shout. Just want to say, thanks to all the stewarding and all the administrative staff. Always like to give a shout to the people behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, we definitely appreciate it, my guy, and again, great racing here this evening.
Thank you very much.
All right, who else do we got? I think that's Matt. We got Egon, and we got Fast Ginger here. Let's talk to our race one winner here, Fast Ginger. We're gonna talk to CB Matt last because he had a double podium here tonight. So we'll definitely hit him up last. So let's go talk to 1010's Fast Ginger here, our race one winner and our almost the fastest driver in qualifying. Absolutely epic qualifying battle for that pole position lap between him and CB Matt there in race one, and a big chase down and just grabs his position with a few minutes left to go in race one and brings home a P1 finish here in race number one, and then had to go back to the back of the grid, had a rough race start, and had a pretty good recovery drive coming back up into the top 5 positions here late in the race number two. So, congratulations on the first place race in sprint race number one and a good recovery drive in race number two. Talk us through your evening here this evening.
Oh, it was an epic evening for sure. I knew I had a fast car. I knew that Matt would have a fast car as well because he has all season. So I knew I had my work cut out, and it was just for 15 minutes it was just back and forth between 3 or 4 of us for pole position. And I had pole there for a while, and I thought, oh, there's like 2 or 3 minutes to go. I might have this bag, and nope. He got me by 300ths of a second or something like that. So. But starting on the front row was not too bad, and like you said, this is a tough road and course to make passes on. So, for race one, qualifying was definitely key to getting towards and staying up towards the front. So, but yeah, we got a really good start, and I know that I was in second place, and Death came up alongside of me too, but I had the outside and I got a better run off the corner, and so he gave me the second place because there's no way you want to go side by side going down that hill. And after that it was just me and CB Matt up at the very front for the rest of the race, and I was just trying to stay close and hope that he would make a mistake. And halfway through I'd kind of settled in like, well, I guess I'm going to have a second place here, which is just fine. And then he did make a mistake coming out onto the bridge, and we got side by side, and then we were in the tunnel, but he was able to keep the position, and then he made another mistake, and I was able to get the pass on him, and then I heard a big crunch, and I think he went wide, coming off that real awkward double left-hander. And then a right, and I think maybe he came off and hit the wall right there, and I'm assuming he had some front end damage from that because then he dropped by 2 seconds. So after that, it was just a matter of hitting my marks and making sure I didn't make any mistakes. And then race 2 was definitely winning the race starting in back. So I was just kind of biding my time there at the very beginning of it, the first few corners, and then Miguel had a mistake, and came off the road and then bounced off the wall and came right back into the road. And I had my brakes locked up, but I could not avoid him and spun. And then I had rear end damage for the first stint on those medium tires. So I was just trying to hang on, and I was kind of I was like, well, this is a recovery race for me. The rear end damage caused at least a 10-mile-an-hour top end deficit on the front stretch, so that was definitely something that was holding me back. And then Nolander had to serve a penalty, and then he came out right in front of me, so I used him to help me down the straightaways because I think he was on soft tires. I was on medium, so he was going to be faster. But then he was able to break through the wind, and I was just able to slipstream through, and that helped me stay connected with the rest of the group until I could get off those medium tires and get the rear end, and the pit crew fixed my damage real quick. And then after that, it was game on, and then it was just put my head down and pass as many people as I could, and I did. There's, I think I accidentally bumped somebody and then held up and waited for them and didn't make a pass, and then I got around. I guess I can't remember several of them, and then I finally got around Miguel, and then I was behind Death by about 14 seconds, and then in 3 or 4 laps I was able to finally close in on him, and I had a run on him on the next to last lap, but then so I was holding back, lay back, and then on the final corner coming through that tunnel section, the dirty air made me push wide, and I got out of his slipstream, so that was the end of that, so I couldn't get that. But a 5th place or 6th place, I think it was not bad from coming that back.
Absolutely, and I mean, obviously showing great pace here tonight. You had fastest lap in both of the races, so you're going to pick up those bonus points there as well. And I'm not sure what the results of the poll are yet, so we'll bring that up at the end of the podium interviews here. But, great racing from you here tonight. And is this the first win of the season for you?
Yeah, I think it's the first win for sure. Yep, I've gotten a 3rd and a 2nd, so we finally got the trifecta and got to 1st place and got on the top step there. Very proud of that, very happy.
And just out of curiosity, I usually ask this for our first-time winners. Is this your first league race win as well?
I believe it might be. I know it's definitely the first league race with GT45. I don't believe I had any other wins at another league that I was in, but yeah, I believe that was my first one. Yep. So I was definitely stoked and pumped for that one. And, we've been trying hard and practicing a great deal on this track this week, so I knew I stood a pretty good chance of it, and if I could stay out of trouble, not get any penalties, that I stood a good chance, and that all that hard work bore fruit today.
Well, coming into today's race, you were about 20 points behind ATB, give or take, I think. So, having a great result here, finishing ahead of him in both these races here tonight is definitely going to help you gain a little bit of ground on him there as well. So, Faster was sitting 3rd overall coming into round 6 here this week, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that missed the standings earlier on in the stream. So, the battle is most certainly on here in the top half of these championship standings for sure. But, great racing here from you tonight. And any final remarks and shout outs you want to send out there?
Yeah, let's hear. I'll say thanks to the D-Dot Racing for putting on this, giving us this event to race. The GT45 Racing, you Ghost, for hosting us and doing the commentary on our races, the interviews afterwards, and definitely all the admins and staff and stewards that work behind the scenes and to help put this on and make it the special series that it is. And then my team, Miss D, Black Widow, Jay said, who had a win the other day, Egon, who had the 2nd race win. So it's great to have the support of this. The 1010s team is just spectacular. I know that we've all been helping each other and teaching each other, and it is definitely, like I said, bearing fruit for us, for all of us. So yeah, it's just it's very special. And then thanks to YouTube and Facebook for giving us a platform to put these races on, so that so everybody can enjoy those. And definitely thanks to my family. I think had some family definitely appreciate. And then all the drivers that we've been competing against is just top tier, just a great bunch of people. And then definitely all the viewers and that watch us through those platforms. I want to thank everyone.
Well, very well said there, Mr. Fast Ginger. And I mean, with all that being said, with the first race win under the belt, it's a special feeling. It's a bit of a special moment. So we're gonna let you head back to the clubhouse, sir, and go give the fam jam a big hug and go celebrate that race win.
Yeah, may as well, because I'm not going to be getting any. Still stoked.
Cheers, brother. Well, we're glad to hear it, and glad to see great racing here from you this evening.
Thank you very much.
All right, we do have VPR Shredda up in the house here. So our third place driver from sprint race number 2. And I don't know if we've had a chance to talk to Mr. Shredda yet or not this season. So this should be very fun, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the podium interviews, Mr. Shredda. And congratulations on a great third place race. Race 1 didn't quite go the way that you may have been hoping, but you had a good strong run in race 1. But boy, oh boy, race 2 came along, and you fought real hard there to keep the lead for a while and just kind of slid a little bit down the field, but managed to hold on to that third place position in a hard charging ATB at the end of the race there. But talk us through your evening, and I mean, how was the racing out there tonight?
Yeah, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. That was a good race. Good both races actually. That was good racing by everyone out there tonight. Pretty clean. Enjoyed that. So, first race, I had damage early. I think I got a little bit of damage from no lander, I believe, but that was all right. I had to go basically a whole race with damage, but hung in there. Did my best. Didn't want to pit, so just stuck that out. And then the second race, where I started seventh and to got up to third or so pretty quick. And then yeah, I don't know, I just kind of went too long, didn't pit when I wanted to, and then just had to play catch up a little bit. But ended up third, so that's not bad. Take the podium.
Absolutely, and coming in new to the GT45 series of events that we run through DDR and DMJ here, kind of coming into the unknown factor, only really familiar with the drivers, your teammates and the guys that you're used to driving against, and you come into this absolutely blazing fast Pro-Am division, and it seemed like early on in the season you were just kind of getting your feet wet, feeling it all out, feeling the drivers out, but now as the season's been progressing, you've really been turning up the heat and starting to put the pace down, and really showing the division what you got on the racetrack. So, overall, pretty happy with the result here this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll take that third place. I'm just trying to work my way up. Just want to.
And I mean, it was a fifth
Yeah.
place finish in race number 1 as well. So I mean, two really great racing results here
Yeah.
for you this evening as well. And there was a moment there for a while on the racetrack where it was yourself and Marv and Lucky Alpha and I believe who CB Merch there where it was four teammates all nose to tail there for a large part of the racing track too. And I mean, that's not an easy task to do. We talk about that a lot during the broadcast, how driving nose to tail creates complications for racers with aerodynamic and all the physics that go around these race cars. But do you contribute that you guys were doing that so effectively? Obviously, just due to the team practicing and the team training from week to week while you guys are testing on the racetracks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like to practice probably every day about an hour or so. Get to learn the track more. But yeah, it was good. We all hung in there. I like how everyone's racing together. It's all coming together. Pretty respectable guys out there, so that's cool. Good to see.
Absolutely, and I mean, enjoying the series here so far.
Oh yeah, I love it, man. Appreciate you having me. Good being on the team.
Absolutely, and I mean it's a different environment. I mean, compare league racing to say just running around through open lobbies and just that casual racing. I mean, which one gives you the more drive to want to get fast? I guess is it the league racing or is it just going into the daily races and the open lobbies? Oh, did we lose him? Did I lose me? Hmm. All right, can you still hear me, my man? Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. That's nothing new here. All right, we got Egon and Matt. Can you guys hear me still?
Yep, you got here.
All right, we may have Shredder Miss may have a connection malfunction going on here. Discord's a little funky sometimes. Well, we'll start and go have a quick chat with Egon here while we give Shredder a chance to sort that out, so we can give, of course, any shout outs out there before we finish our interviews here tonight. So let's go talk to Egon. He's our race 2 winner, and I mean, gifted a top step on the podium here tonight with a miscalculation on fuel there by our second place finisher CB Matt here tonight, but doesn't take away from the fact that you had 2 pretty solid races. You picked up damage in race number 1, and you really did everything you could with that race to salvage what you could in position. But boy, race number 2 came, and you really tried to take advantage of that good starting position. And at the end of the night, it turns out to be a race win for you here this evening. So congratulations on that, and talk us through it here tonight.
Thank you, Ghost. Yeah, it was bittersweet, but when you have such a sweet race like the last one, the bitter becomes very small compared. But here's the bitter. So on the first race, yeah, I ended up, I think, in 8th place. That was a good fight for the front. I mean, the guys are very, very close, very clean, as mentioned. We had a very clean start on race 1. We're doing very close racing through the corners, and unfortunately, Murch went a little sideways. I was right behind him, and I definitely had a much better exit speed than him. So once I came out of the chicane, he was right in front of me already, kind of sideways. So I had nowhere to go. I ended up touching him and spinning him. Right away, panic mode sets. I don't want to. I mean, continue. First, I want to give the position back, but he was 180 on the track. He really spanned all around. So total situation of panic there. So I kept waiting until the whole field passed by. Once I saw that March couldn't really turn around in time, I thought that maybe he had disconnected. For the viewers who don't know, I wear VR, so I don't know who is where, who's behind me, who's in front, and what's going on in the race. So I gave it a lot of time, and then after some time, I decided to go back to the track and sort it out later. So I ended up getting an 8th place, but of course this was a disaster, not only for myself, but Murch. I'm sorry for that, as you know, but you see on the replay that it was totally unavoidable and non-intentional. Obviously, second race comes in, and yeah, that was the sweet part. I did not expect what happened to CV Matt at the very end. I understand what happened here, but yeah, he either gave me his first position or he would be last place. So he held in place at the start and finish line so that the clock could go down to 0 and he could finish the race as he didn't have any fuel in his tank. But by doing it, just holding up right by the line, my second place became a first place, and I took it. So, big surprise. I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised by my strategy. This was a very strategy-minded race, and I really took my time to strategize on this race. I really took a good look in when I could change my tires. I kind of did an undercut to the guys right in front of me, stopping on lap 7 on a 17, 16, or 17 lap race. And that worked to my advantage. Maybe I had a little bit too much fuel. I was a little conservative on the fuel. I could have gone a little less, and that would have made this race even closer to CB Matt because I actually got out of the undercut because yeah, he got less fuel than I on my tank. But at the end of the day, it worked for my side, and I'm happy to be here on the podium.
Absolutely, and yeah, we didn't quite see what happened with the incident on with CB Merchant in her first race, but we'll leave that off to the race office to deal with that. Obviously, post week racing, but great racing from you here tonight. Nonetheless, I mean, you've been showing incredible pace here again as the season's progressing, and it seems like that's just kind of the case all the way through. Not just this pro-am class, but also the am and the pro classes as well. It just seems like everybody's really starting to settle in and be comfortable with their cars and getting comfortable around each other. And now it's really providing for some really good, tight, hard, fair, clean racing in my opinion for the most part. So, up and down night for you, but a podium and a recovery drive in the books, and you're right in the mid pack of the standings here, and a race win definitely going to help hopefully move up a spot or two up in the standings leading into the last 4 weeks of racing. So we head to Red Bull Ring next week. I mean, what are your thoughts on Red Bull Ring?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I like that track. So, guys, let's race again. It's going to be an awesome track to race next week. I know this is going to be a very tight race, being Red Bull Ring, very small track. That is a track that usually the Porsche does better. The Porsche today at Hidden Valley was not a good car. I knew it, and that's why I really raced this with a strategy in mind rather than speed. But Red Bull Ring is a good track. It suits my style. It suits my car. So I'm really looking forward to it. I like to be there. I'm looking forward to racing these guys. I really like to thank all drivers that been amazing competitors. Very clean. Everybody here is really into racing clean and taking home whatever victories or whatever positions you do because you've earned it. So each one of you earned your positions there, and you guys are doing an amazing job. And I'd like to help also thank the team, uh, TT for helping me a lot. Of course, it's a great team. It's my first team ever. I wasn't a guy who's about to join any team, but once uh, and tenths was put in place. I said this is where I want to be, and I want to be part of it. So I'd like to thank all the instructors, especially Black Widow and Miss Devious, but all the drivers too for the help and the support. So thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to racing again, all of you guys next week.
Well, very well said by Guy, and we appreciate all the drivers, yourself and every other of the other 10 drivers included here tonight on the racetrack for the great show as well, not only from the booth but from the viewers back watching at home. And thanks for taking some time to chat with us here tonight, and we'll let you get back to your respective club hosts there and go celebrate a race victory here as well. All right, let's get back to Shredda here real quick. All right, can we hear each other now, my man? How are you still there?
Can you hear me now?
All right, there we go. We got him back. All right, my guy. So we do apologize about that. Why don't you take on over, fill in any final remarks or anything you want to add to your racing night here tonight, and of course, send out any shout outs or thank yous there to the viewers watching at home as well.
Yeah, just want to thank you guys for having me and putting all this on. It's a great league to be in. Just want to thank my team, VPR. Go guys! Had a good night out there. Um, yeah, just want to shout out my league, another league that I'm in, CSRL. That's another league if you guys want to check out. It's out there. But yeah, other than that, it's been good. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, much like yourself, we appreciate you taking some time away. I know it's very late in the evening for a lot of the drivers right now to come and have a few words with us here, and I mean, congratulations on the first podium of the season here for you in Roving Island as well.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, last but definitely not least, our championship leader here in our Pro-Am class coming into round 6 here tonight, VPRC, B. Matt. And again, looked absolutely incredible out on the racetrack here tonight. That absolutely epic qualifying battle with Fast Ginger there, just stealing that pole position right on the last available lap that he could get it on. And got a great race start there in race number 1. Got off at a good lead. He opened up a quick gap, but Fast Ginger just reeled him in a little bit, and by the sounds of it, a couple of little mistakes made by Matt there, and Ginger was able to find his way around. But a really great run here in race number 2 as well, and just unfortunately a little bit of a miscalculation on this driver's part, and it cost him one position here on the racetrack, and thankfully only one here, as it could have been a few more if the timer would have been another 5 or so seconds. But with that being said, it was a very up and down and interesting, eventful night for you here this evening. So why don't you take the viewers through it here, and congratulations again on 2 podiums in a row here.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, Ghost. Yeah, it was an eventful one for sure. Yeah, I mean, first of all, if somebody had told me, I'd have 2 podiums coming out of this track, I would have taken it and run. So absolutely pleased with the results. First and foremost, shout out to the other drivers and certainly other podium finishers. 2 really good, clean races. Shout out to my teammate Shredder for his first podium in the league. Awesome to see that. VPR representing another step of the podium as well. But yeah, quali. Yeah, I've been kind of struggling with this track, just not real feeling super comfortable all week, and I think a lot of people share share that opinion. It's a tough one to get comfortable around, and I just kind of pulled together, a couple good laps there in quali, and was able to nip Ginger. But honestly, in that first race, I got a good start, but I felt like he was definitely faster than me the whole race. I was just able to kind of keep him behind me for the majority of it, and I just kind of made a few errors in the wrong spots, and at the end of the day, he was able to sneak by me. But once he caught past, I just kind of backed off. I didn't want to make any more mistakes and actually lose that second place. But he deserved it. He was absolutely the fastest car out there tonight, and then second race, took it real easy in the first couple corners, and then just kind of things started to work out. I just kind of started peeling my way up the order, and next thing I knew, I was right up there with Shredder right before pit stops, and man, I thought I nailed the pit stop strategy. I thought I had it perfect. I was doing the calculator in my head, and honestly, I had no idea that it was going to be an issue until about halfway through the last lap. I thought I had enough time. I thought it was going to work out perfectly, and then panic set in. I was trying to calculate whether, if I cross the line, is Egon going to then get the checkered flag and I'm going to be okay? Or do I stop and wait for the check? Anyway, it was pure chaos. I'm gutted. I had a nice lead there. I ran a real solid, consistent race. But hey, it is what it is. I made the error, and congrats go to Egon for, he ran the right strat and was in the right place at the right time, and took the W. So all in all, I'm pleased.
Absolutely. And I mean, much like I said, Ginger there a few minutes ago during the interviews here too. ATB was nipping right there at your heels here with a podium finisher in race number 1, but of course you were responding there with just finishing up ahead of him there, and then of course that second place finish here tonight, and he ended up only slotting himself up into 4th place there. So still knowing that you have a little bit of a cushion in the points going into next week's race at Red Bull Ring. I mean, how do you feel to start with the race next week at Red Bull Ring, and of course, how are you feeling for the last 4 weeks of trying to now hold on to this championship title you're defending at the moment?
Yeah, feeling good. Like I said, I feel good with the points haul that I took out of here. I honestly, you know, wasn't really sure what to expect in terms of results. So I'm pleased with it. Pleased with it. Gutted we kind of tossed a few points out the window there in the second race, obviously. But um, yeah, Red Bull Ring, not my favorite track, but I like it. I feel reasonably comfortable around there. So looking forward to that. And I think it's really just keep pushing. Like, everybody in this division is quick. Everybody's got the pace to compete to win these races, and if you don't keep pushing, you're going to get passed by. So the focus remains just you know try to get to the top step in every single race, and if you do that, then the total at the end of the season take care of itself.
Very well said, very true. And that's just spoken by an experienced racer, ladies and gentlemen. We say this all the time on the broadcast too. We have these splits, these divisional splits in these leagues. We have uh, typically you'll see a pro am, and an am division. If it's a bigger league, you'll see a rookie, maybe an academy, maybe you'll see a fancy name for a faster division than the pros, like elite or something along those lines. You can't ever take away from a pro am division, no matter what league it is that pro am division is in, because pro am literally just means that these are the drivers that are nipping right at that pro level license in real life racing. A pro am really only separates maybe a second in pace on the racetrack between a pro and a pro am driver in real life. So I mean, really, when we think about it, ladies and gentlemen, a pro am driver is at the same skill level and experience level as these pro drivers. They just don't quite have that pace in those race cars yet, and for whatever reason that may be for each individual driver. So the pro-am lobbies always produce great racing and very tight racing, and I really do feel like that's because our pro-am drivers are in a comfortable spot within their experience, with their comfort zones with their car and the game and the platform and everything that goes around it. I mean, would you agree that that's a fair assessment to make on the pro-am division pretty much in any league we see?
Yeah, I think it always seems to end up with the most excitement in terms of the races. Everybody seems to be really on a pretty equal playing field in terms of pace and we're lucky in this league. In previous seasons and iterations, we've had a bunch of the same people competing in the same lobbies, and you start to get comfortable and start to understand the racecraft a little bit, and I think it just makes for better, cleaner racing, a little more tactical racing, which is lots of fun. And that separation. Don't get me wrong; those pros are faster than us, but that's the goal. Right? Keep pushing and keep getting better, and hopefully in the next season, we're able to make that jump to the next step and keep battling.
Well, I definitely think that you are nipping. I really do think that you and quite a few of the drivers in this pro division are right there. I mean, it could very well be the next season we could see some of these drivers with pro tags on their cars without a question of a doubt. But you're looking real strong all season long, and just getting stronger and stronger now as the season grows older. So, I guess with that being said, any final remarks on the race here this evening, and any shout outs or thank yous you want to throw out there to the viewers at home?
Yeah, no, again, just pleased with the result. I would have taken those two results in a heartbeat if somebody offered them to me. And again, the momentum kind of keeps rolling. I don't feel like I took a step back this week from the last couple of races, so that I'm pretty pleased with that. In terms of thank yous, obviously, Ghost, for putting this league together for us. Thank you for doing comms. The rest of the admin, Misty and race control, everybody putting in a lot of work and is running really, really smoothly. Obviously, my team, Victory Pace Racing, all the guys back in the, in the garage. I know they're rooting for us tonight, and we have a lot of guys in this division. And I think everybody really, really showed nicely to well with some nice results. So that's awesome to see. And of course, the family. First day back in school for the two kids today, so I was able to squeeze a little bit of time tonight once they were in bed to get a few laps in early and yeah, prep for the next one in the next couple days.
Absolutely. Well, we're definitely looking forward to seeing what VPRCB Matt has for us here at the Red Bull 1 hour endurance race next week. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, this one's a doozy. It's a 1 hour, it's 5 times fuel, 5 times tire wear, and it is racing hard, racing medium, and racing soft required next week. And it's reverse grid based off championship standings running into round 7, and it's a double points round. There is so much on the line next week. Stock up those pantries. Make sure the fridge has some ice cubes and some cold beverages, because you're not going to want to miss what's going to happen here at Red Bull Ring next week. Absolutely great racing track. Most racers are very comfortable with this racetrack. We're in for a show next week in all 3 of our classes, and we appreciate you, Matt, and you're looking really solid out there this season, and you keep racing the way you're racing right here. We're going to be having a championship chat here at the end of the season, so congratulations on your 2 podiums here tonight, and we'll let you get back to that VPR clubhouse and go celebrate there with your teammate on 3rd place and the rest of the crew back in the clubhouse as well.
Cheers. Thanks again, Ghost.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, uh, top level, always by these drivers, week in and week out. No matter who it is that's on these podium interviews, they always just knock it out of the park. I really do appreciate our driver community here at GT45 Gaming within the server and within our community. I mean, first and foremost, thank you to the drivers. We can't do it without you. We don't have a show if we don't have racers to race the shows. So first and foremost, the first thank you always going to our drivers, and the second one always going to you guys at home watching, the viewers, moms, dads out there, the uncles, the aunts, the brothers, the sisters, and all our furry friends that live in the households with us there as well. Some of them like to hang out and watch TV with us, So we you're the second most important reason why we continue to do this here, because we won't continue racing and putting on a show if the viewers don't enjoy the content. So I want to thank DDR, D-Dot Racing, the presenters of the series, the organizers, the brainchild behind this amazing Roving Island World Tour 2 North America Edition season they sent down the line here. It's been a blast. The sprint racing and endurance racing, switcherooing and factoring, and all the point bonuses that go on throughout the season. It really does make for any driver to come back from a bad racing start to the season and really make a charge at the end of the season. We're starting to see that from some of our drivers in the championship standings if we're paying attention from week to week. So, thanks to my staff, the admin team behind the scenes, keeping the gears going week to week behind the scenes as well. There's a lot of work that goes into a series this size, and I can't do it without them. To our stewarding officials, they don't have an easy job. So much love to the stewards, man. They're not everybody's favorite person throughout a racing season, unfortunately. But they come in and week out and make those tough calls. And we really do appreciate them for that. And just thank you to the Winner Circle community for all the undying support. If it wasn't for the Winner Circle community, we wouldn't be here week in and week out, bringing live broadcasting to everybody at home. And we just want to thank everybody for that. So, we'll be back Friday night, as long as I can get the stream set up in time before the race starts. But ideally, we're tentative to go live Friday for Rad Super Formula Round 4 at Interlagos. It's going to be a 60-lap race, and of course, I won't be commentating this. We're actually going to be behind the wheel of our Super Formula car, and we're going to see if we can continue to make that charge for that championship. We are tied for the championship lead going into Round 4 next week. And the gloves are off. I'm coming for you, Willie. That's it. No more Mr. Nice Guy. But we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And Round 7 at Red Bull Ring is definitely going to be a doozy next week. So back with our AM class at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully back on Facebook and YouTube for our AMs. We'll get that sorted out as well. So appreciate everybody coming out, hanging out with us on the red site here on the YouTube channel. Really starting to seriously contemplate moving to the red site as my main channel here, as we continue to have more and more issues with the Facebook platform right now. So yeah, definitely, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel but you're here hanging out watching tonight, make sure you hit that sub, turn on those live notifications, because we are very, very seriously considering moving to the YouTube platform here at GT45 Gaming full time. So just keep that in mind, viewers. We appreciate you. We love you all. Remember, you all matter. Our doors are always open here at the Winner Circle community and at GT45 Gaming and at 1010s Racing. And with that being said, 1010s Racing is accepting applications. You can find those in the GT45 Gaming Discord server as well if you're interested in jumping in, seeing what the team's about. Go fill out the application process, and one of our representatives will come and have a chat with you, and we'll take it from there. We appreciate you all, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, stay winning. We love you all. We'll catch you on the next one.